From Hersey High School in Arlington Heights, Sports Channel presents the Illinois High School Association Boys State Tennis Championships. Well, hundreds of tennis players have converged on this area for the past couple of days. Right now, 6 are left, going for the titles in state singles and doubles. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hersey High School. I'm Mike Lederman. Joining me is Michael Hand, the tennis coach at Bennett Academy. Michael, as far as the singles are concerned, we have a classic confrontation between a ground stroker and a serve and volleyer. Brad Kramer is the ground stroker.
Brad Kramer is playing real well. He was only seeded 7th coming into the tournament, but I don't think anybody is going to deny him. He's playing well, he's hitting from the baseline, and he's frustrating people.
Well, he certainly frustrated the #1 seed, Sunu Thomas, in the semifinals, defeating Thomas in straight sets. His opponent, though, has marched through, well, just the way he was supposed to, the #2 seed, Tom Derwin.
And he's different. He's a strong hitter. He hits a hard serve, good ground strokes. He'll be able to hit with Brad from the baseline, but he's going to be a little more different, and he's going to look for attempts, look for times to come into the net.
As far as the doubles are concerned, and we will be seeing doubles first, could be making some history here at the state tournament. Dennis Alexander and Brian Edmonds, seniors at Bloomington High School, won this event last year. No doubles team, both members, have ever repeated, but they will not have an easy time against their opponents.
No, they're playing very well. But Jewers and Lynn, Roger Jewers and Johnny Lynn, having seen him before, it's almost like old home week. They're going to be ready for him, even though they haven't beat him yet this season. It's a new ball game.
Right, Jewers and Lynn from Normal Community, just hard by, where the #1 seeds play for their high school as well. So we'll be back. We'll check the doubles action, start things off in just a minute. Well, here is court 1 at Hersey High School, and we are just about set for the doubles championships. The weather is threatening. We had 2 beautiful days for the first rounds, and here for the finals we have a wind coming out of the northeast. As you look at the team from Normal Community High School, that is Roger Jewers on the left in front, Johnny Lynn on the right. And they are the defending state champions from Bloomington High School. Dennis Alexander, the taller of the two. Dennis is 6'4", and we'll talk more about that. Brian Edmonds. And we will have Normal serving with Roger Jewers. And we're underway. All 4 of these players are seniors. Jewers and Lynn finished 5th here last year.
Nice way to start out.
Lynn with the easy volley. 15 love.
This will be. It's not like they don't know each other here, so got to find something different, something to take away the edge.
Jewers at 15 love. Once again, Johnny Lynn straight with the overhead, capitalizing on the good serve from his partner. These teams have played 10 times in the last 2 years, and Jewers and Lynn have won but once, and that was a year ago. Yeah, Jewers may have turned his ankle on that last point.
This is a nice serve. Brian hit it right at him. Good reflex. And then a nice put away.
Well, Edmonds tried to handcuff Lynn on the return, but Lynn fought it off. You see the signals between the teams as Lynn signals to Jewers at 30 love. And a second serve winner.
40 love.
You'll notice most of these players have very good serves, but they don't always hit their hardest serve. You're looking more for placement of the ball, spin on the ball. Plus with a harder serve, it gets back at you fast. You don't get into the net as quickly. So they're not always going to hit their hard serve unless they get up to a 30 love and 40 love.
40 40 love here. And a love game to start things off for Roger Jewers and the team from Normal Community. They will change ends here, and that's got to be a good start for these folks, because obviously the pressure is all on the #1 seeds and the defending champions as you look at them right there.
Yeah, they've got to do something. It's nice to come out on top, and you've got to do something to change things. We said they've played so many times that there's no mystery here. You've got to play a little better, and you've got to be a little more intense. And as a coach, you always just tell the kids it's a matter of, at this point, who wants it more.
And you see that Jewers may have had maybe a cramping problem there in his right leg, or maybe took a shot on the knee. People have been known to do that with their rackets on the serve, although, of course, that never happened to you, Michael, right?
No, I don't. And I don't think he'd ever admit it, even if it did happen.
Right. There are marks on his shins to prove it, however. There is a bit of a drizzle. The wind, as we said, is a factor. It is blowing in towards us as we are directly behind. There's our camera position looking north. And if it stays like this, everyone should be okay. You can see the crowd has come equipped.
Some of them did, some of them didn't.
Well, and well fed, you can see that.
Brian Edmonds from Bloomington to serve.
There's a good look at Brian Edmonds. And he will serve to Johnny Lynn.
Now 15.
Sharp return by Lynn there, and the volley from Edmonds goes long.
That wasn't, probably didn't shake it off. That wasn't a real good volley. You'd probably like to have that one back. It wasn't that difficult.
15 off.
Serve there from Edmonds going to the backhand.
Just with your serve, you just want to put it, you want to change it up. You want to move it around. You don't want to get somebody to groove into it and always be in the same spot. So you hit it to the backhand, hit it to the forehand.
15 all. There's a good example of Dennis Alexander's reach, using all that 6'4" frame and stretch to tell the point.
He has to react to where Brian serves the ball. Brian served the ball wide, so Dennis was moving over with the ball and then had to reach back.
30-15. Straight up serve and volley tennis to start. 40-15 now in favor of Bloomington.
Again, going right at the server's partner, or the receiver's partner, trying to get a little confidence.
And a foot fault is called by the linesperson. Second serve coming here at 40-15.
Game Bloomington.
Good chip in there by Alexander. And games are 1-all.
People think singles is so easy, but doubles, you've got to remember there's only 9 extra feet of court, and you've got 2 people. And what you have to do is you've got to hit it to areas where they're not, and that's what happened. You hit it. Roger, I think, thought he was going to go down the middle, and he went wide with it.
This is Johnny Lynn to serve to Alexander.
Brian thought it was. Brian Edmonds thought it was long. These players aren't used to having linesmen. They're used to making their calls throughout the season.
There's a full crew here today, led by Chuck Cunningham in the chair. And right back up the middle for Brian Edmonds, and we're at 15-all.
That's an oops. That's one person thinking, that's Johnny Lynn thinking that Roger should get that, and Roger thinking, well, maybe I can't quite get there.
15-all. And a double fault from Johnny
15-30.
Lynn.
These kids are human just like everybody else. They get nervous and they make mistakes, but man, they make some great shots too.
We're at 15-30. And again,
15-40.
second straight double fault. So now we're at 15-40, double break point for the Bloomington team.
You notice Roger went over to talk to him a little bit. At this point, you've got to go over to your partner and say, "Hey, well, let's forget about that one. Let's go get these two. Can't worry about things that you can't control, and you can't control the 2 pass points."
Fault.
Late call, but a fault. Ball was long. And the break.
You lead 2-1.
So the first service break, and Bloomington, the defending champs, come up and they lead 2-1. Winds are tricky here. We are looking now, as we said, to the northwest, and if we pull back, we'll show you the shot as we look at both teams changing over. As we pull back, you're going to be seeing we're looking pretty much straight north as we pan around to the right. At the front of your picture and back of where Jewers is going now, where we are, is a wall, and this wall will make that wind swirl as it comes in from the top of your picture. So even though the wind is coming from the northwest, it can wreak havoc with you.
Yeah, especially with the lobs. A lot of times double teams would like to lob. You try to get your opponents off the net. So you want to lob a little bit, and you do play the wind. You do wonder, you do worry about which way it's going, and you hit the ball a little harder or hit the ball a little softer depending on which way the wind's going. But when it swirls like this, sometimes you don't know.
All right, now we'll see the big man serve, Dennis Alexander.
Dennis Alexander from Bloomington to serve.
To Lynn.
Love 15.
Double fault.
Looks like they're both a little tight right now. Even though they've played so many times, it's still the state championship. There's nothing. I mean, you can't prepare for it. You can't play a match to imitate it. It's completely different.
And Edmonds told Alexander to let that previous shot go, but Alexander hit it, and Edmonds got caught.
I'm not sure it wouldn't have. I'm not sure it would have stayed in anyway. I think
the way that wind is blowing in, it probably would have sat.
Again, that's just a reflex volley.
Love 40.
Now we're at love 40. Triple breaker right here as Normal's coming right back.
Good low return. That's one of the toughest things coaches will always tell you when you break somebody to hold your serve, because there's almost a little more of an incentive on the other team to try to break right back.
Good overhead by Alexander at 15-40.
With emphasis.
Sharp serve too, right in the back left of the box.
Good return. Good serve, and Jewers really did almost all he could with it, just to put a lob up, which is when all else fails, that's really what you need to do.
Back live at 15-40 as Lynn hits into the net on the return. So now we're at 30-40, still another break point against Alexander.
Tennis players are interesting. You go for 3 points and you don't get a first serve in, and then now you're down love 40, and all of a sudden you're now serving great.
And of course the confidence level ebbs and flows. Alexander at 30-40.
Just as I say that, he misses his first serve.
Yeah, the second double fault. So 2 double faults in each game, and that results in service breaks on each side.
Well, that's a little bit of a confidence booster for Jewers and Lynn, having just gotten broken, to come right back and break Dennis's serve.
Now Roger Jewers will take his second service game now.
Now,
no problems in the first one, serving a love game. We'll see what he does here.
As a server now, you really need to get this first serve in, just to get this first point.
Best point of the match so far, but the shot went long. Excellent action at the net.
That was pretty. That was pretty. That's what doubles is all about. Good serve, good return cross court. And now it's just a matter of trying to get up to the net and who's going to take over the net.
At 15 love, first serve fault. And Jewers is not immune.
Yeah. Winds also affect ball tosses, although I think players, it affects them less than the players think it affects them. But depending on how high they throw the ball up.
15 all.
30-15.
All of these players have good hands. They have good hand speed, good eye-hand coordination, and can get to a lot of balls. And all you're trying to do is put your racket in front of it. Use the power that the player has hit the ball at you, and just punch it back. Just block it back.
30-15, and a late call. It's a fault. Jewers and Lynn checking signals. Second serve here at 30-15.
40-15.
That was a nice return by Brian Edmonds, and Dennis did the right thing. Saw the ball was going to come up, hit it at Jewers. Brian hit it at Jewers' feet, popped the ball up, but Dennis just didn't quite get the ball put away.
Roger Jewers at 40-15 here, serving to Dennis Alexander. Net cord, and Edmonds gets the winner after some overhead work by Johnny Lynn. Used that wind to keep the ball in the court.
It's a nice get, and it turned out to be a real nice lob. Notice that as soon as they see how deep that is, Jewers and Lynn are coming up to the net.
40-30. Second serve coming up here. Well, Edmonds will go and kiss the net cord on the next changeover, I guess. Up and over the fence. Ground rule double and game.
And the community leads 3-2.
So, teams are back on serve again with Jewers holding serve for the second time. And it's 3-2. The team of Jewers and Lynn, you see them right there, came in last year's tournament ranked second. They were upset about the third round and ended up finishing fifth. That was later than that. And this year they came in ranked fifth, and now they can do no worse than second.
And obviously they're not looking for second. They want number one.
And
you can see the intensity starting to pick up. The sweats are coming off.
right, you can see they've got some great shorts.
Matching shorts.
A little Scottish influence there.
They've kind of been colorful throughout the tournament. They had on you can see this the sweats that he had on, that Roger Jewers had on. He had those fluorescent or fuchsia, I guess, shorts on yesterday at some matches, making a fashion statement.
Brian Edmonds will serve here.
You'll notice that the players talk to each other a lot. Even when Brian's serving, you'll hear him acknowledge Dennis's signals, letting him know what Dennis is going to do, where to put the serve, and whether Dennis is going to stay or he's going to poach. It's an important to communicate. And both these teams will do that a lot in between points.
Edmonds to Lynn. We'll show you what it says on the back of their t-shirts over on the Bloomington side in a minute.
Love 15.
Love 15. A little resolve there on the part of the defending champions. It says once isn't enough.
No.
Love 15. Strong return by Jewers and the backhand volley by Lynn.
Things are starting to pick up a little bit. Both teams are starting to get a little more intense. Nice cutoff volley. On that return, the receiver's partner's got to be just as active as the server's partner. And if he sees that ball coming across, he's got to poach too.
And it's in.
Nice topspin lob.
Love 40.
Triple break point. A beautiful topspin lob from Johnny Lynn over the head of Bloomington.
I think Brian thought it was going out.
Ooh, right on the line, inside the
that.
line. Stunning shot. Now we're above 40.
Things we dream of.
Yeah.
Good serve. Here we go again. We're at love 40, and now we get the first serves in. But notice that ball went down the line. Previous couple of serves, he's gone to his backhand. Just a change-up, just something different, so he can't groove on one serve or on one return.
Still a break point here at 15-40. Just long. Great anticipation by Jewers off the backhand cross-court volley by Dennis Alexander, but just long.
Yeah, you're almost guessing at that point, and he guessed right. Didn't quite get it down.
Good look there at Brian Edmonds checking with his partner again. Break point, 30-40.
There's some nice hands too.
All the way around. Super serve, excellent return, and then great volley into the alley.
A lot of players will hit that first volley and then watch it. And the ball comes back at you and you have no idea what to do. You've got to play the point until it's done. And that was a good example of Brian doing that. He didn't wait. He didn't watch it. He saw it came back and he was able to stay with it.
Back at deuce. Short lob.
Advantage Bloomington.
And Bloomington and Edmonds have come back now.
Yeah. So the two of them kind of ran into each other, and Dennis is shaking his hand a little bit. They both wanted that one.
Their eyes were probably as big as saucers looking for it.
That's really Dennis's ball. He's the closer one to it. It's really his responsibility. If he can try to cut that ball off, he should.
Check it here. Normal started out at 3 break points. Now it's advantage to the server. And a good save by Bloomington.
Again, Jewers might have been expecting that ball to be going wide to his backhand. Instead, it was to his forehand. wasn't quite ready for it. Ball went wide.
Now Johnny Lynn, who was broken the first time, had a couple of double faults in that game, will serve it 3-all. Jewers made sure.
15 love.
You can't dilly-dally with the ball. If you got a chance to put it away, you got to hit it hard. With these players, if you hit it at them, it's coming back at you.
You can see.
Now, here's the first ball right at him, and Alexander was able to get it to him.
Back live. And Jewers put away a volley off the return. And it's 30 love. Good look at Johnny Lynn.
Good serve, right on the line.
40 love.
He's doing a good job mixing up his serve this game.
Yeah. It's a little more confidence when you're at 3-3. You've been broken the last time, but when you come back, you have a little more confidence.
Second serve at 40 love. Wind starting to kick up even more now. Blowing cross court from right to left. And Lynn going for a big second serve paid the price, his third double fault.
I guess if there's ever a time to double fault, I'm not sure there is, but if there ever is a time at 40 love, doesn't kill you. But still, it's just one more point, one more point to getting the other team even again at 40 all. So you don't really want to double fault.
The way the rhythms of this game go, especially in doubles.
Yeah.
40-15. There you see it. And all of a sudden, it's 40-30.
That was a good return, even though it was a little high. It was towards Johnny had to stop and to move a little bit. It wasn't right at him, so he had to reach a little bit and wasn't able to get it back.
Great cross-court forehand, and all of a sudden we're at deuce.
And that's that thing. You got that double fault at 40 love, even though it's not crucial. This is just a great return.
Inside out at that forehand.
Yeah. And you can see where Johnny Lynn is. He's almost right at the service line. You'd really like to be a step inside the service line.
Second serve coming.
But that's a case of where the receiver was receiving it, and Brian Edmond was a couple of steps inside the baseline.
Advantage normal.
Good serve.
Normal with the advantage.
Again, not wide, but right, almost at his right armpit, just to kind of jam him a little bit.
See where Lynn will go here.
I don't think he'll go to the forehand.
And a miss hit by Alexander. The ball just held right up there for him, but Alexander mishit it, and the game goes to normal. So we're still on serve here at 4-3.
That's a case where I almost wonder if the ball just died with the wind.
Okay, well, we'll be back with more right after this. We'll take a break. right back to action, and Dennis Alexander's serve, and had the ball just shot right back at him at a cross court. It's love 15.
I think you can see just the intensity, and the players have warmed up a little bit. You're going to see a lot more shots, a lot more exchanges.
Well, again, Alexander appeared hit what appeared to be an out ball, but Bloomington prevailed. It's 15 all.
And again, with the lob, Normal throws up the lob and immediately comes up to the net. Roger Jewers had a nice idea of trying to cut the ball off.
Okay, now they're going into the eye. Try to cut off the down the line returns. Bloomington is. And the I formation worked.
Again,
30-15.
something different, just something more to think about besides just hitting the return. You got to think about where the server's going, where the server's partner's going to be.
Putting your net man on the same side as your server. It's called the eye, and it worked right there. So now we're at 30-15. Alexander serving to Jewers. Boy, Jewers had the answer right there.
Pretty return.
6'4" Alexander.
Pretty return, right down the middle. Sometimes best spot down the middle, because then the two of them may not know who's going to get what, who's going after it. And I think Dennis may have thought Brian was going to get that one, and Brian may have thought it was a little bit out of his reach. Not quite as tall as Dennis.
All right, we're at 30 all right now. Now we're at 40-30.
40-30.
Not in the I formation this time. Same return, same serve to the forehand, but so something more to think about. This time he had to go cross court with it.
And now they are in the eye. You can see the net man up.
And Normal comes both back.
Good lob by Jewers.
Deuce.
Got both players back as Normal's doing. You're kind of conceding the net to Bloomington, but then with that lob you're trying to get him off the net.
We're at deuce here.
Now that's an interesting thing. If that had hit Roger, it would have been Bloomington's point.
Here at 4-3 for Normal.
Advantage Normal.
The net.
Good exchange. In fact, Roger almost got handcuffed by Dennis's ball, but was able to fight it off. And
a break point here now at 3-4. Oh, what a touch over there by Dennis Alexander, right on the alley, right on the line.
Yes.
Caught Johnny leaning a little bit. Every ball so far he's hit from that side has gone cross court back to the receiver. This time he decided to go down the line, and Johnny wasn't quite ready for it. Probably thinking he was leaning a little bit towards that cross court.
Back to deuce. If you're just joining us, this is the High School Association Boys State Tennis Finals. Bloomington in the far court against Normal Community here in the near court. We're on serve at deuce, 3-4. Another break point.
There's goods and bads to going down the line. One, the good point is they're not used to it. The bad point is the net is 6 inches higher at that point. So it's 3 feet in the middle and 3'6" at the net post. So got to get a little higher in there.
Break point for Normal here. And they get it.
And Normal Community leads 5-3.
So the third break of the game, the second for Normal, gives the team from Normal a 5-3 lead, and they can serve out the set here with Roger Jewers, and Jewers has held serve both times.
Well, we may be here for a long time. As we found out talking to their coaches, they've played the last 2 out of the last 3 times have gone into 3 sets, so obviously Normal would like to serve this out and at least get one under their belt.
Johnny Lynn had the answer with Alexander trying to go over his head.
Momentum. How do you define it?
Momentum. Sometimes it means whoever wins the last point.
That's exactly it, because after they broke in that last game, Johnny came running over to Roger, and the 2 of them were slapping high fives.
Wind, you hear, very much a factor.
Good idea, trying to keep him honest.
Missed by a foot down the alley, and it's 30 love.
Now, sometimes players will tell you differently, but sometimes you're just fighting the ball off, and that's where it ends up.
(30-15).
And for Jewers, another double fault. His second. He'll make that his third.
It's all important to get that first serve in. And we've seen a lot of good returns hit. You'll see a lot of times those returns are hit off of second serves.
30-15 here. And Jewers is long. You heard him say, come on. Had all the time in the world on that overhead.
Now this is, obviously this is a big game for Bloomington, but just momentum-wise also. Just to get it to 30 all is important.
Good poach cutting across his Edmonds, and once again a break point.
No, we were talking last game with Dennis Alexander going down the line on that, and that's what you're trying to do. Is you're trying to keep that partner from poaching. And you'll see Roger one of these times going down the line also, just to keep Brian Edmonds honest.
Second serve coming at 30-40. Far and wide with that, brings it back to deuce.
Looking for a big return again off a second ball.
So now Normal has escaped once. They brought it back to deuce. 2 points from first set here. And Lynn is wide. But Mike, it was the shot before that Lynn wanted back.
Oh yeah, well, a little low. He got down on him and he just kind of shanked it a little bit, and that gave Brian Edmonds a chance to get it back to him. And you can't do that against good doubles teams. You got to put the ball away because it does come back, and that's what happened. As long as you get it over the net one more time, you get a chance of winning a point.
Break point here. And they get it back to the Bloomington Bloomington team.
Game Bloomington. Normal Community leads 5-4.
And now we're back on serve at 5-4. Boy, that had to be a crusher for, if not a crusher, certainly a setback for Normal.
Oh, definitely. But it's done. You can't do a whole lot more with it, so you've got to shake that off, and you've got to try to come right back here and break. You know, 2 times we've had Normal break Bloomington and then not able to hold their serve the second time around. And it's always tough. You've got to keep that concentration level up. You've just gotten a break, and you've got to keep that concentration to hold it, because now we're back even.
And Edmonds will serve. See the crowd. It's getting cooler here. So far the rain has been somewhat constant, but just a drizzle.
Yeah, it hasn't really affected the players. Hasn't affected the court. We haven't really seen anybody slipping.
Right. And looking off to the left or to the west, the sky seems to be brightening up some, so maybe we'll escape.
There's a positive.
Yep, absolutely. Well, this tournament has a history of weather. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be the state tournament, boys or girls, without
definitely
without weather playing a role either in the fall or here in the spring.
In fact, at the beginning of this week, we were kind of wondering if it was going to snow, setting record lows.
But 2 beautiful days for the first 5 rounds, and well, we got paid back today. Here's Edmonds serving. Beautiful lob by Lynn.
Lob 15.
Topspin lob, ball hits the court and then takes off away from the player trying to chase it down. That's about 2 or 3 of those that they've hit just perfectly, just inside the line.
Into a very tricky wind, actually, with the wind at his back there. Johnny Lynn hit that. Love 15 here. And Edmonds again, what's the call? Normal is saying it's out, and the ball is called good. Chair umpire affirming the linesman's call.
15 all.
So the score is 15 all.
That's so tough to be a linesman. If you've never done it, it's hard. You think it's so easy to sit at those lines, but those balls are being hit so hard and so fast. It's not in front of you very long.
Now that ball was hit right in front of the linesman, and the chair umpire backed him up, so we're at 15 all. Lynn with a sitter. Check Jewers with the sitter. Sends it back up to us.
He's got to watch himself, because if he hits the net, he loses the point, and he also cannot touch the ball on the other side of the net. He's got to wait for the ball to come over to his side of the net before he can hit it.
15-30. And now, sharp return from Jewers.
15-40.
So now, double break, double set point against Bloomington. Trailing 5-4 here.
You wouldn't think that Normal just got broke the last time through the way they're playing.
Edmonds serving to Lynn, 15-40.
30-40.
Still 1 break point.
Good serve. You'll notice the receivers are inside the baseline, trying to take that ball as early as they can and get it back to the server as early as they can.
Again, break point, set point.
Game
the
first
double
set,
fault.
6-4.
Edmonds double faulting on set point. So the underdogs, there you see them, have won the first set by a count of 6-4. 3 straight service breaks to close it. And we'll go right into the second set. So Lynn and Jewers, well, they've taken a set off these guys before, but as we told you, in the 10 times these 2 teams have met and they play close by, they're only won once.
At this point, every game is important, but you gotta come right here, and you gotta come out with the same intensity and the same desire you had in that first set. was a case where you just get the ball back. They kept getting it back, kept getting it back, and were able to win the point. A lot of teams give up on those. They don't go after them, and those are momentum changers. Those switch it around for you. Just get 1 or 2 of those a match.
Love 15. Jewers to serve.
Net. For serve.
Net court. Checking here. Should be first serve on the net. Lead court.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Well, Jewers got it over the head of Dennis Alexander. Not easy to do. We're at 15 all.
That's a tough shot. A backhand overhead is probably the hardest shot in tennis, and he does a great job. Actually hits it down so the ball goes up and over his head.
15 all. That's a fault. Jewers thinking he may have caught the line, but it was well wide.
Yeah. 30-15.
Dennis wasn't too happy with that return.
30-15 here. First game, second set. Normal serving after winning the first set 6-4. Then made sure of the second one.
40-15.
Of course, that's the way to make sure it doesn't come back at you.
Put
it
that
hard
one
down
up
the
in
middle.
the camera nest right there.
Should give him a racket. Let him.
40-15.
Go for a hard serve down the middle that time.
Normal checking signals. And Edmonds made sure.
Set up by the return. Nice return.
40-30.
Johnny Lynn was just able to get a racket on it, get it over the net. And at that point, they were on the defensive, and Brian Edmonds really had just about anything to do anywhere he could go with the ball.
40-30. It's Bloomington in the near court, normal serving in the far court.
Game normal community.
Cross court miss, so it'll be game.
In the first game of the second set. Normal.
And they lead 1-0 after the first game of the second set. Okay, first set has gone to the underdogs, and we'll be back with more in just a minute. Back at Hersey High School, the state tennis championships. Boys doubles right here, Jewers and Lynn. 5th place finishers last year are ahead of the defending champions. They've taken the first set. And there is Brian Edmonds in the far court looking to serve and try to even up this set. Well, Alexander certainly got all of that one.
Good idea. Try to pop it up over his head, but I don't know if they forgot he was 6'4", or.
Well, they got away with it the last time, right? He was ready for him. 15 love. Good look there at Lynn. Ball was called out very emphatically. Ball was long.
15 all.
Edmonds, a look of disbelief, but the line's been very clear on his call. We're at 15 all. Mike Liederman along with Michael Hand, our Sports Channel crew. Again in that court. And again, Edmonds lost his concentration.
15-30.
Yeah, you've got to put those things out of your mind. You know, the previous ball he thought was good. It was called out. Then he really misses a very easy forehand this time.
15-30. And a foot fault is called on Edmonds. So Brian better be careful here. The wheels are starting to get a little wobbly. And Jewers is long with
30
that.
all.
We are at 30 all.
Trying to keep Dennis Alexander honest.
Well, the stands have filled in nicely. The foul weather keeping some of the crowd away, but a good contingent, especially for a couple of downstate schools.
They always bring up a good following. You can hear them cheering.
30 all. And the ball is called out, and Edmonds.
Correction. Correct is called.
And the call is
First
reversed.
serve, play 2.
So we're going to play that point again. One call was out, and the far linesman called it good. You see it there. So we will replay that point. Play 2.
30 all.
And you saw an indication there. Brian Edmonds slipped a little bit as he was coming up there. I don't know if that's an indication if the court's getting a little slick or not.
Well, the rain has stopped.
Out.
And the ball is called late, but it was out. You know, and Lynn, give him credit. He did a smart thing. He didn't wait for the call. He played it.
Yeah, you have to. They're not used to, again, having lines people here. But in that case, the linesman was unsighted. He couldn't see the line, so he couldn't make the call, and the chair umpire did.
Break point here. Good serve. Good serve from Edmonds. He got it back together in a hurry. We're at deuce.
Deuce.
Tough serve. Dennis was starting to move over a little bit and was able to just kind of come back and put that ball away.
Deuce game. Again, called out. A bit late, but called out.
We're giving that linesman a lot of work here. He's had the last 3 calls.
And another break point against Edmonds. There you see those T-shirts for the defending champions. Obviously, they want more. Right now, they're already down a set. And here threatened with going down a break early in the second. Brian Edmonds, a senior, like his partner, serving to avoid a break. And it's long.
Little chink there. They both went after that ball, and that's the little lack of communication.
That's happened a couple of times to this team. And now,
yeah, see, they're the linesmen on the sidelines have a double task. They call the serve, and then they have to call the doubles line. So they really need to move over a step from the singles line to from the service line to the doubles line.
Johnny Lynn. Serving at 2-love.
Love 15.
And a double fault for Lynn. That's his 4th, and it's love 15.
Not a real difficult serve to handle, but when you're not real prepared, you're not sure if it's going to go to the forehand or backhand, it handcuffs you a little bit. That seemed to be what happened.
15 all. And right on the line.
15-30.
Brian
Right
Edmonds was
bit of a
helping
miss
with
hit,
it.
huh?
Yeah, Brian Edmonds was trying to help the official. The linesman called that.
Well, he got the call, so it's 15-30.
Well,
Well, you look at the determination on Lynn's face when he's serving. He's got the most compact serve of the 4 players today.
He brings the racket up. Instead, a lot of people do like a clock where they start, bring it down, and then up. He goes right up with the racket.
It's working for him right now.
40-30.
Bloomington looks a little rattled. They haven't been, really haven't had very long points in the last couple of times.
Right. .40-30. Again, the short lob, and there it is. So, normal hold serve. They're up a break, and they now take a 3-love lead. Well, are the defending champions tottering on their thrones? Could it be?
They may be a little nervous.
Yeah, but obviously it's a long way from over. It looks a lot more imposing than it is. They're only down 1 break, but these are the folks who are up right now.
Not, as you point out, just 1 break. Even though it looks 3-0, it looks like you're 3 games behind. You're really not. You hold your serve right here, and then come back and you need 1 more break someplace to even up the match. And that's what they're going to be looking for. Just something little. At this point, you've got to do something to pick yourself up. Just something, a good get, a nice lob, an overhead. Just something to help pick up and to swing the momentum a little bit.
Time.
Okay.
This is fun, though. This is fun. Hearing the fans. These players are enjoying it.
Serving at love 3, Bloomington will have Alexander.
Yeah, Dennis just went over to talk to his coach, Barry Nixon. One of the nice things about high school tennis is the coach is allowed to talk to the players during the changeovers.
Left 15.
That's one of those things you need, that let cord. That's something that helps pick you up. Fortunately, it didn't fall on the right side of the net for Bloomington.
Alexander at love 15.
15 all.
And Jewers just unloaded that. Hit the fence on the fly. 15 all.
My old coach used to tell us he'd give us a half a point for a ding if we'd hit the fence on the fly. Doesn't help you in a match.
Not at all. Strong forehand down the alley by Alexander. 30-15.
30-15.
That's a tough one because that ball might have gone wide, but you have to react too fast, and it's too close to let it go. That's just a good shot.
Nope. 40-15.
I think that ball was out.
Just a bit. Overpowering serve by Alexander. We're at 40-15. There's a good look at Brian Edmonds. He's been broken the last 2 times he's served. He needs some strong support from his serving partner right now. Climb back into this one.
There we go. Just something to change up going into an I formation. And Roger Jewers goes to the baseline.
And It's long.
Game Bloomington.
So Bloomington is on the board.
He leads 3-1.
Normal still leading 3-1 with the break.
That's what you needed, just something to break through here. Just get yourself on the scoreboard.
Now Roger Jewers to serve now at 3-1. Defending state champions right there from Bloomington High School. Trying to become the first doubles team in the history of this nearly 60-year-old tournament to repeat. First serve was long.
Love 15.
And a double fault from Jewers. His fourth. Love 15. Follows it up with a strong first serve.
Good comeback. Good comeback.
15-all.
Sometimes players make more mistakes on second serves by being too cautious. You know, they think I got to get the ball in, so they're almost more cautious than if they just went ahead and hit the ball. Good poach.
30-15.
Rule of thumb is anything the net man can get at, he should go after.
Lynn went after it. We'll go after it right here. Easy play for him right off the forehand.
Good strong serve down the middle, set that up. Very difficult to go down the line when the serve comes down the middle.
30-15 here. Well, when it's going your way, it's going your way. And definitely it is going the way
40-15.
of normal.
Yeah. Brian Edmonds hit a nice lob. That's just one of those things you can't fret about it because you can go up and say a prayer to the net god, but didn't work that time.
40-15.
The
last time he went down the middle and Johnny Lynn got it. This time he tried to keep him honest. Hit it right at him. Toughest shot to hit. It's a real tough shot to get at.
40-30. And again, a good serve from Jewers. The easy put away at the net.
Leads 4-1, second set.
Changeover comes and Normal holds on to that one break and they lead it 4-1. Well, there is Brian Edmonds along with his partner Dennis Alexander. They're down a break here in the second set. They already lost the first.
That last game, the thing about that last game, most of the serves were first serves, and those set up those points. The two poaches that Johnny Lynn had all came off of first serves. When you start hitting second balls, the receiver can do a little bit more with the ball, get the ball down at the feet. Whereas if you're hitting them first balls, it's so much easier to attack and to be on the offensive as the server and his partner.
Following this match, of course, we will have the singles championships between Tom Derwin of Moline and Brad Kramer of Highland Park, which should be an interesting match in its own right.
Oh, definitely.
Kramer surprised a lot of people getting here, the 7th seed. Derwin, the number 2 seed. Won convincingly, as did Kramer in the semis. So right now we've got the doubles going here, and Edmonds has been broken his last 2 times serving at 1-4. And he's wide to start.
That's the second time he's had a little problem with his footwork. I don't know if he's unprepared, but he was caught a little off balance on that one.
Jewers. Ouch.
Every time the ball comes back,
15
the
all.
chance of somebody else making a mistake. Even though it looked like Jewers and Lind had that .1, Edmonds and Alexander just kept getting it back, and that's one of those momentum things that can help your team. You're out of the point, you still stay, you still hang in there.
15 all. Ball is called out.
30,
Just off
15.
the line. 30-15. These two teams each played and won 3 matches on Thursday, 2 more yesterday. They won the semis earlier this morning. Here they are in the finals.
Nice point.
Oh, yes. All that rat-a-tat.
30 all.
Sharpshooter from close range. Here it is.
Yeah, you don't do much. You're really just reacting to the ball until Johnny had a little better chance at an overhead to hit the ball down. Most of those balls were down at the net or below the net, so all you're doing is volleying up and looking for the opportunity, the first floater you can get.
30 all right here. Alexander missing on the poach, and once again a breakpoint opportunity here for Normal.
Not much you can say about that one. That was
shot was there.
Like to have those back.
Cleanly played point by Bloomington. Brian Edmonds
Deuce.
brings it back to deuce. Ball was wide.
Even that ball went over, though.
Yeah, Normal's having things its way so far. Second serve at deuce.
Clean the ball off the court. Get it out of your way.
Lynn couldn't get that one to lie down. He hit an excellent return, though.
Good return off a second ball again. But Edmonds was up to the task. Just missed the lob coming back.
Confidence level on this Normal team is very, very high. Brian Edmonds here needs this to stay within a break. And there it is, the first ace of the match. And for Bloomington, it could not have come at a better time.
Game Bloomington.
Wow, what a clutch play right there by Brian Edmonds.
4-2.
Not expecting the ball down the middle. Probably expecting it more towards this backhand.
Just hugged the line right straight down. So
Wait, please.
Johnny Lynn will serve at 4-2. Alexander shaking his fist there was in no way a threatening gesture at Johnny Lynn, but obviously he was just trying to get his team pumped up.
But look, volley, close in, volley, close in. Ball that was high, able to do something with it, put it away.
Love 15. Johnny Lynn,
Love 30.
his 5th double fault.
That first point was kind of a confidence booster. Give yourself a chance to get back into the match. Give yourself a chance to break serve.
Love 30 here for Normal. Bloomington opened up the court, and Edmonds went right down the middle. Triple break point.
Perfect spot. Cross court. Brian Edmonds was there to pick the ball off.
Love 40.
You can see him just keep going cross court. And look where Brian Edmonds is, right in the middle of the court, because his partner had been pulled off court. So he had to cover the court for him.
Triple break point. Oh, once again, Johnny Lynn's good friend, the net cord.
15-40.
Lynn definitely was going down on that one, out of position, and still a break point here at 15-40.
A little too good. Dennis was trying after that, but it was a little bit too tall for him. It's a big point for Normal.
Wait, please.
Try to swing. The momentum's kind of swinging a little bit. They come back here to deuce. That's a big crusher for Bloomington.
3rd break point here. And Normal does it.
Deuce.
That was big. That was big.
Lynn has come back from love 40. Now we're at deuce. Bloomington not giving in.
We really missed the easy one. The other ones were a little more difficult.
Advantage Bloomington.
Fourth break point of the game against Lynn and Normal. And Bloomington comes back in a big way.
Great service return. Set the whole thing up. Right at his feet.
You can hear the fans.
Leads 4-3.
You can see the ball. Brian turns it right at his feet. Pops it up.
Okay, we're back on course here on serve in the 2nd set. Normal's got the 1st set in hand. Things are tightening up. We'll be back. Okay, the 2nd set is now even. There is the Normal team. They took the 1st set, trying to upset the defending champions, Bloomington team.
15 seconds.
And Denny Alexander will serve for the defending state champion Normal team. There he is. Back on course now.
Again, over conferring with their coach.
Johnny Lynn with a ripping forehand return, set it up for his partner.
Love 15.
Exact same as the previous point. Exact same as the previous point. The return set everything up. Roger was able to cut the ball off.
Love 15.
Almost too lackadaisical on that backhand. Netted it.
15 all. See the signals there between Edmonds and Alexander. Edmonds up at net.
You can see where that serve was and where Brian Edmonds went. He went up towards where the serve went's going.
Second serve here. Now once again, Lynn smacks the return back at the feet of the server.
15-30.
And we talked with Ed Roseborough, who's the assistant coach at Bloomington, and said when players get grooved in on serve, so don't be surprised if we see an I formation the next time when they're serving to Johnny Lynn.
Force Johnny to go down the line instead of cross court.
Yeah. Well, you have an option. You can do the I formation there, or you can change the serve. Don't hit the serve in the same place.
Sure.
30 all.
30 all. Bloomington trying to pull even at 4 here in the second set. And a football is called on Edmonds. Check it on Alexander.
Good return, but he hit it too close to Brian Edmonds.
40-30.
That return wasn't as good as the couple of previous.
Give Alexander a little credit too. He put some mustard on that second
good
serve.
Good serve.
Clutch play by Dennis Alexander. And, game point here.
That serve looked long, but
wow, if it got white, it didn't get much white. Kicked up right in the face of Jewers. Now we're back at deuce. Jewers managed to fight it off.
Now the last 3 serves, Dennis Alexander has hit it his forehand. That time he hit it at his backhand.
Advantage Bloomington.
And now they go into the eye. Alexander checking signals again with the net man. Excellent placement by Alexander in the alley. Now we're all tied up in the second set.
Game Bloomington, 4 all.
This time, instead of going cross court with the ball, he sees the opening, as Johnny Lynn was kind of cheating a little bit.
Well, certainly the most important game of the match coming up for Normal with Roger Jewers to serve.
It's probably important from both of them, obviously. Bloomington wants to get this one to have a chance to serve for the set.
Well, again, some sharp net play and just a missed overhead by Lynn. Love 15.
Back and forth, some good. The Bloomington team was at the baseline wasn't hitting hard balls, but they were hitting them low, so that Normal doesn't have a chance to hit down on him.
15 all.
Good serve.
15 all with Jewers handcuffing Edmonds.
Got to take advantage of those. Those balls come at you, you've got to put them away. As we saw the 2 points ago, Normal didn't have a chance to do that. Bloomington kept getting it back, and then Normal missed the overhead.
30-15. Look at Alexander. Jewers to Edmonds here.
Brian Edmonds made a nice return. There really was very little he could do with the ball. He just tried to get the ball over the net, but Johnny Lynn, where he should be, right on top of the net, was just able to angle the ball off. If Johnny had been back 2 or 3 feet, that ball would have dropped down, and he wouldn't have been able to do as much with it.
40-15. And a strong game for Normal and Roger Jewers.
Community leads 5-4, second set.
That was important. That was very important from Normal's point of view. They'd lost 3 games in a row, something to kind of stop the bleeding.
Well, Brian Edmonds will serve when the teams come back, and he will have to hold, otherwise this thing is over, and the defending state champions will have been toppled. Turned into a very good match, Michael.
Oh yeah, well it takes a little while. Even though we talked about the fact that they've seen each other so many times, it takes a little bit of time sometimes to just get yourself warmed up. And we've noticed as the games have progressed that the points have gotten better and the rallies have gotten better, and they were a little tentative, especially towards the beginning of the match and especially end of the first set, beginning of the second set. Now they're both attacking right at the ball, putting the balls away. Good serves, good returns.
A couple of other factors too. They played the semifinal on the far courts, which are not inhibited by this wall that makes the wind swirl. Also, the weather has drastically improved. It's still quite windy, quite overcast, but it has brightened up and the threat of rain seems to have gone for now. Here's Brian Edmonds. Serving at 4-5, now it's love 15.
Love 15.
Well, Brian Edmonds didn't slip that time. That was just a terrific return. Brian just trying to stretch to get the ball, wasn't able to.
Hello, it's love 30, and Normal is 2 points away from a championship.
A good deep serve, just didn't do enough with the volley. Or should we say didn't do anything with the volley.
Remember, singles championship coming up after this. This may be going a while.
Love 40.
Triple match point coming up. Fine point played by Normal. Brian Edmonds at love 40, triple match point.
That was that aggressiveness. The Normal, Roger Jewers was aggressive going after the ball.
There it is.
Game, set, and match. Normal Community. 2 sets to love.
Roger Jewers, Johnny Lynn from Community High and Normal have upset the defending state champions and have won in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4. They are the 1992 Illinois High School Association Boys State Tennis Champions. There they are right there. 6-4, 6-4 the final scores. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Back at Hersey High School, the winners in straight sets over the defending state champions. Well, here's our team, the winning team from Normal High with Coach Jim Boswell, Roger Jewers, Johnny Lynn. Gentlemen, all of you, congratulations. Roger, let's start with you. This has got to be, well, it's got to be a thrill to beat, especially the guys you know so well and have lost to so many times.
I don't know. We've worked a long time for this, and to finally win it is, it's just great. I mean,
I'm sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
Well, I'm just glad that we show people that we can play them tough, because all year long we've been losing to them, and everybody just kind of figured that we'd lose. So I just felt good to come through this time and
Well, we pointed out the record against the Bloomington team, 1-9. So now you have won the second time, but that's got to be the big one.
Yeah.
Coach, what made the difference today, do you think?
The difference is intensity. The difference is gut, and the difference is perseverance. These guys have worked hard all year long, and we knew they could do it. They knew they can do it. It's just a matter of getting the job done, and they got themselves up, and they had an answer for everything Bloomington threw at them, and they played like upperclassmen, and they deserve it.
Well, Bloomington came in. You had a break after winning the first set. You go up. In the second set, they break back. Did you think, uh-oh, maybe the tide's turning, going to be the same old thing again?
I was getting worried. When he aced me that one time, when he hit that one ace, I knew they were serious. You know, I was like,
all right. So what made it turn for you again, John?
I just figured since they broke us, the only way to get back is break them back. Just go on to returns, which is a strong part of our game.
Well, you have been the bridesmaid in so many tournaments this year, losing usually to them. This is, I would assume, this has to feel good.
Yeah, this is the biggest tournament I've ever won. This is, I don't know.
Okay, Roger, Johnny, Coach Jim Boswell, congratulations to all of you from Normal. And Johnny, by the way, we want you to show him the award. This is the Tom Pitchford Sportsmanship Award that went to Johnny Lynn. Congratulations to you. It's a great day for the folks in Normal.
Thanks, Mike.
We will be back in just a minute. We will take you to the singles championship right after this. Welcome back to Hersey High School. Mike Liederman along with Michael Hand. The state singles finals now take place in front of you in the near court. Brad Kramer, junior from Highland Park. There is Brad. He is the 7th seed in this tournament, facing Tom Darrowan. Darrowan from Moline, leading 15-love. First game, first set. Well, we're going to see a real contrast here, Michael.
Yeah. I think you'll see it right away.
30.
That's not what we meant.
Well,
not making the mistakes. That's kind of unusual. Usually Kramer's a little more consistent than that. He just keeps getting the ball back. Almost, you know, with his semifinal match with Slimak, it was almost as if you had with Thomas, as if you have two people just sparring each other, trying to find the weakness. That's what he's going to have to do against Darrowan.
Darrowan, very aggressive. Serve over 110 miles an hour. Kramer, extremely consistent. They call him a backboard.
30-15.
Double fault from Darrowan. And obviously he told us before the match he's just going to try to go out and play his game and blow Brad Kramer off the court. Kramer, who has had people try to do that to him in the past, says he wants to return serve as best he can and then be patient, make the points long. And that is where he feels he has the advantage over Darrowan. Darrowan serving 30-15 in the far court. Played point.
Yeah,
Darrowan working his way to the net.
That's what Tom said he likes to do. He's not a serve and volley player. Even though he has a great serve, he's not a serve and volley player. He's a serve and attack where he looks for his openings. And that he got a short ball from Brad, was able to hit a very deep approach shot, was able to put the volley away.
Called a fault. Darrowan appealing. He thought he had the line, but it is second serve.
Yeah, he saw Brad start to walk away as if he thought it was good also.
Oh, what a point.
Well, we've had 2 points in a row, one demonstrating Tom's style, the previous one, and then this point, Brad. He just get it back. He hit some shots. The one backhand overhead over that Tom was just able to get back, and Brad was able to hit the open court. Just kind of look for the openings, look for the mistakes.
40-30. You can see the sun has come out. The wind is still whipping, but the threat of rain has passed. We had a little bit of rain at the beginning of the doubles. Not much after that.
Deuce.
Kramer's brought it back to deuce. And if he was worried about returning serve, at least the first game, he has done it quite well.
Well, the thing that makes it a little easier on Brad is Tom is not coming in, so there isn't quite as much pressure on his return. If he was coming in, then Brad would have to be a little more precise with that return. This way he can do almost just that, just kind of block the ball back, just get it deep.
And Brad Kramer now with a break point. Coming to the net and forcing Derwin into the unforced error.
Yeah, there was a case he saw his opening and was able to go
Wait a
right
minute.
in.
Is that a redundancy? You force somebody into an unforced error? No, I guess you just
Force somebody in.
As
Well,
they say,
I don't
let's
know.
repeat it again.
I don't know if that was that was more of a forced error. That was just
Okay. So I stand to correct myself. Break point here against Derwin.
I'm glad I'm not down there returning serve.
You watch Kramer all the way over in the alley for that second serve from the left-hander.
Deuce.
Yeah, he's really trying to. He's kind of playing with Tom a little bit. He's on that second serve. He's trying to cut off any attempt that Tom can hit to his backhand. He's almost forcing him, daring him to hit the ball to his forehand or try to ace him.
About that one on the part of Derwin. Strong serve. All Brad could do was pop it up, and Tom just put it away with the overhead.
Yeah. Well, there's a case again. You know, he hits that serve, and had Tom not been coming in, it wouldn't have been that bad a shot. But with Tom coming in, popping that ball up short, you know, he's now got to think about that a little bit. It's
advantage Derwin here. And they call the foot fault on Tom. Let's see what Kramer does here. He's going to stay a little further into the court on this return. Ball is called out.
Deuce.
Looked wide to me.
Derwin showing a little bit of frustration, if not impatience here, late into the first game of this set.
You better settle down, because if you show some impatience now, it's going to be a long day.
He knows that. He knows he's got to work
Yeah.
on being consistent, because the kid he's playing, the young man he's playing, will take advantage of that.
Let. First serve.
First service let.
Going for that forehand corner on the deuce side.
Here's a fault.
Tom got away a little bit with that. His approach shot really wasn't all that good, but was able to take care of it. And hits the ball a little short here, and Brad doesn't quite get the lob up.
And Tom, all 6'2.5" of him, can stretch and
Yeah, he was 6'2" this morning. He's 6'2.5" now.
There's Brad Kramer. Tom Darrowan is coached by his father, also named Tom. Different middle names, so they're not senior and junior. I think Tom may have gotten a linesman on that first one.
There was that patience that he's going to need. He's going to have to just kind of hang into points. See Brad kind of hitting some moon balls, just getting the ball back. Hit one short. Tom was able to hit a good approach shot.
Well, good indicative first game of the styles of play of these two finalists. As you look at Brad Kramer, who is the surprise in this tournament, seeded number 7. He won his sectional and defeated number 4 Brad Hawthorne in the quarterfinals. Number 1 seed Sunu Thomas in the semifinals. And there is Tom Darrowan, who beat last year's finalist Mike Slimak in the semis and earlier defeated Gene Katz in the quarters, and it was Kramer who beat Katz in the sectionals.
Yeah, that's not
Well, as we get ready for Brad Kramer to serve, we'll tell you the broadcast rights to this afternoon's State Tennis Championship have been granted to Sports Channel by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this event without the written consent of Sports Channel and the IHSA is prohibited. Here's Brad Kramer to serve at Love 1.
That's what Tom's got to do. Just the patience and just keep forcing the ball. Keep the ball deep. Not give Brad really anything that he can play with.
A strong forehand from Darrowan, and now Kramer is at Love 30.
Yeah, Brad's not hitting the ball deep enough right now. If he keeps hitting the ball short, Tom's going to be able to do that all day. He's going to have to hit the ball deeper.
Fault. And I believe that was called a
Love 40.
fault. It was double fault for Kramer, his first.
Chair umpire overruled.
So now triple break point against Brad Kramer. And there it is.
In his last 2 matches, Brad has gotten up real fast. He was up 5-0 against Hawthorne in the semifinals, and was up, I believe he was up 5-1 against Sunu Thomas in the semifinals. So this is a little bit of a new experience for him to be down right away with a break.
Well, Thomas, the first seed, went down in straight sets. Hawthorne, who had beaten Kramer last year in the States, defaulted with cramps after being down Love 5. And here is Darrowan at 2-Love. Wild forehand.
Little uncharacteristic. That I think Brad showed a little frustration on that point, trying to go for that big forehand. He had 2 balls that were just hit right by him in the last game, and he almost like he had to prove a point that hey, I can do this too. Well, unfortunately, it didn't work out well that time.
This is the 3rd state tournament for Darrowan, 2nd for Kramer. just wide. A few whistles. And that was the first point out of the last 7 that Kramer has won. Derwin just hitting that forehand into the net.
Yeah, he was trying to go for the big forehand. He's got to, you got to find the right spots for that. I think if he thought about it again, that probably wasn't the right spot for him.
15 all.
That was a forced error. That was a good setup. Good setup. The previous point he had gone for the big forehand. That time he didn't go for it quite as big. He just nice top spin, get it deep. Not trying to win the point on that shot. You're trying to set the point up so that you can win it on the next shot.
30-15 here. And Tom Derwin is having it all his way right now.
Yeah, good setup. Good setup by the serve. Short ball. Coming in attack. And here he's not trying to put the ball away. He's just trying to get it deep, which he did, and set himself up. Notice how close he is into the net.
Probably got a little closer to the line than he wanted to. It didn't have to be that fine. But there he is at 40-15. And Tom Derwin showing some strength here is up 3-love. As they will change over, we will cut away, and we'll be back in just a minute. We're in the first set. Terry Arcucci, the chair umpire. And right now, Tom Derwin from Moline, all over Brad Kramer of Highland Park here in the singles final. Kramer to serve love 3.
Love 15.
Brad is long on the forehand.
Floated it a little bit. Cut shots are nice, but if you get a win like this, you get them into the win. That's what happens.
He is hitting into a win right now. It's coming from behind Derwin and then swirling behind Kramer.
Love 30.
Brad's doing some talking to himself right now.
Yeah, he's making some errors that he's got to get his head into it a little bit more. He's thinking a little bit too much right now, and he's got to go back to what he does best, which is just to keep the ball in play, hit the ball high, and keep it deep.
Ball was wide. 40. Nice play by Kramer coming up to the net.
Yeah, kind of wrong-footed, Tom. Tom thought he was going to go down the line with his approach shot, instead went wide.
Still has a double break point.
He needed something. He needed to change something up a little bit. He needed to let Tom know that he will come into the net.
broken. And he's up love 4.
I think we brought it downstate net.
Well, that's the story so far, as Tom Darrowan will serve.
It's been pretty quiet. I mean, it's not. It's 4-0, and it hasn't been really a close 4-0.
15.
Well, Kramer certainly in his first final might be a little bit nervous. He's also come a long way. Darrowan, as we said, got to the semis last year. And a service winner.
He's playing with a little more desire. Plus, when you get a serve like that, it makes things a lot easier.
Well, after a little bit of tentativeness in the first game, Darrowan is just slamming that serve. Coming up right over top and saying, I dare you to hit me.
(30-15).
First double fault, though, for Darrowan.
Yeah, he's his first serve percentage is pretty good right now, and that's helping him. You know, if he starts having to hit a lot more second serves, it's going to give Brad a little better shot. He's not going to be on the defensive right away.
30-15. Darrowan likes to hit that left-handed spin serve right into the net if he can, into the fence if he can on this situation. Actually take it flat right here cross court, but now he'd probably go with the spin serve on second.
Yeah. It's going to the same place though.
Yep.
30 all.
Little impatient. Really tried to do too much with the ball.
Yeah, that's an unforced error. And we're at 30 all. Again, a powerful serve that pulled Kramer wide, and Brad was lucky to get it popped back.
Wonder if he likes that side of the court, because that's about 3 overheads that he's hit in that direction.
Game Moline.
As Kramer's shot goes long, Darrowan now can make the changeover and try to break and take the first set. We're at 5-love right now. We'll take a break and be back with more Boys Singles Championship. First point of the 6th game. Kramer serving at love 5.
15 love.
Saw a case there that Tom wanted to come in, didn't really hit a good approach shot, decided not to.
This is the first time that Kramer's been ahead in any game so far in the match.
30 love.
And he changed tactics a little bit. He decided to attack and was successful. In fact, both times that he's come into the net, he's won the point.
Brad, coached by Chuck Sheftel over at Highland Park, longtime coach of both the girls and boys teams there. It's great to watch Brad talk to himself. He really I like the little tape recorder here. Things he says. Very animated young man.
Yeah, I don't think there's some things you want to hear him say, though.
Actually, I've heard he keeps it pretty clean. Second serve at 30 love. Forehand winner.
There was just the opposite case. That time Tom didn't keep the ball deep. Tom hits the ball a little short. Brad was able to put it away into the corner.
Second serve here after a football was called on Kramer. Two-handed cross-court backhand is 40-15.
Short ball again.
Yep. I remember that famous Near Eastern tennis pro, keep 'em deep. I read his book.
Is he any relation to Hit 'em Hard?
Hit 'em hard. It's his first cousin.
40-30.
You can see Brad talking to himself, probably saying, "Relax, settle down." That was forced. That was not a. He was trying to push the point along too much. He's got to let it. You know, he's not a player that really. He sits back. He lets the action come to him, and he plays better that way. When he tries to really force the action, he seems to get into trouble.
40-30. He had Sinu Thomas, the first seed, totally flummoxed in the semifinals.
Deuce.
And we're at deuce.
Both these players hit with an awful lot of topspin, which is you know, you'll see some of these balls going short, but you're not as able to do as much with them because of the topspin. It's almost as if you hit a flat ball real deep. Topspin's going to make it bounce back towards the baseline.
Darwin has come back to force a deuce. What a pretty point by Tom Darwin.
Well, you know, and Brad didn't play that bad a point either. He made one bad shot, and that was the short ball that Tom was able to come in on. Here's the short ball that Tom's able to do a little bit with, force the pressure on Brad, and put it across court.
Back live now. First serve was in. Set point here.
Game
Ball is out.
Set.
Here's the first set.
6-0.
A love set. So a clean sweep in the first set for Tom Darwin, and he is halfway to his first state championship. We say first because he and Brad Kramer both are juniors. You know they'll both be back next year.
I'd hate to be facing that serve next year.
Wow. Well, he said it was clocked at 112 miles an hour. First game, second set.
50.
Ball is out.
If he shows up next year, we'll bring a radar gun.
Yeah. It's been total domination so far.
The thing about a hard serve like that is it's flat. It's that pressure. You know, Tom hits a hard, flat serve, but it's not a difficult serve really to return once you get a racket on it. You know, you've got to make sure that you're quick enough and that you can get the racket on it. But there's so much power on the ball, you usually have to put a racket in front of it, and it will come back over the net. And as long as Tom's not following it in, Brad can do that all day. If Tom starts following it in, then Brad's got to be a little more careful about where the ball goes once he blocks it back.
And as his dad said, that Tom wants to work on a kick serve, give a little more variety to that first serve as opposed to just the straight ahead gun.
Well, as a lefty, he's already at advantage because, you know, most players are right-handed and they're used to a slice one way.
Good forcing cross-court forehand. It's 30-15. Kramer reminds you a bit in appearance, if not in style, of Harold Solomon.
Yeah, or that Harold. I remember watching Harold Solomon and Eddie Dibbs playing in the early to mid 70s, and just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Important thing for Kramer here is just to keep up his confidence and try to play through this, because Darwin is forcing everything and having his way so far. Things can turn. There's a super shot by Kramer.
Yeah, Tom's playing very well right now. If he can keep it up, but at some point in time, you know, these players go through the ups and the downs, and if Brad can get a break someplace, or just, you know, do something to, you know, to turn things around for himself. You know, maybe get something, you know, a shot like that where he just pumps you up a little bit.
And now Brad Kramer with his first service break opportunity at 30-40.
He was thinking about that last point where he got almost passed down the line, and this time he tried to make his approach shot a little bit too good.
Deuce.
Pure power on that point all the way. We're back at deuce.
And again, a little changeup. The previous two times he's approached to Brad's forehand side. This time he decided to go to a backhand.
Here's Darwin. He walks a little gingerly. He's had some back problems. He's had some ankle problems, muscle spasms in his back. They have not bothered him, certainly during this most arduous of tournaments where you have to play as many as 7 matches in 3 days. But he has had a history there.
So enjoying the fact the sun's out.
Yes, it is much more comfortable now than when we started the doubles an hour or so earlier.
Plus, it's just nicer out.
Still quite cool. I don't think the temperature is much above the low 50s.
Going for a linesman.
Yeah, checking to see if the linesman's awake.
Good movement, good point. Good setup, good setup. Brad gets the ball up a little bit and starts to move before, but didn't quite get the lob. Tom anticipated the lob a little bit.
It's advantage Darwin. First game, second set. Darwin won the first 6 love. Mike Lederman along with Michael Hand, our Sports Channel crew here at the IHSA Boys Tennis Championships at Hersey High School. Serve was long.
Tom seems to be coming in a little bit more, maybe putting a little more pressure on Brad on that first serve.
Working his way out of trouble, Darwin now.
First game, second set.
Has won his 7th straight game, the first here in the second set. Well, you take a look at Tom. He is from a family of 6, and all of them play tennis, and they are all coached by their dad. Darowin's oldest brother, Tim, of course, no stranger to the state tournament, finished 4th in the singles one year, plays now for Southern Illinois. As you look at Brad Kramer, who's been playing this game since the age of 6 and really has come quite far here.
Thanks, John.
Darowin is going over to talk to, Brad's talking to it's Chuck Sheftel, his coach. Talking more about Tom Darowin. His sister Jen also is a quarterfinalist in the States in doubles. She plays for Western Illinois. He's got another sister, Carrie, who's a freshman, playing for her dad.
Time.
Nikki, who's 6, also plays, as does a 6-year-old. So, you know they probably have a big competition in that family.
I say never going to be at a loss for a partner.
Never. Kramer serving.
Oh. 15.
Watching Tom hit, he's got a nice backhand, but his forehand is a little unorthodox. He hits with an open stance and uses a lot of wrist, a lot of his elbow.
Sharp play, and Darowin was ready for it. You heard Kramer say, geez, you know, like, what more do I have to do?
That was a great shot by Brad, and it's equally great shot by Tom. You know, here Tom gets the short ball again, and deep approach. Just nice hands.
Back live.
Out.
Ball was long that Darowin hit. It's 30-15.
38-15.
And Brad Kramer moving in, 40-15.
Take that.
Take that. 2 could get up to net.
I think that's what, his 3rd or 4th. And if I'm not mistaken, he's won. I think he's won every point he's gotten up to the net.
Still, you can see very frustrated with himself. But
well, Tom's playing well. It's not that Brad's playing badly. It's just that everything Brad has tried to do, Tom's had an answer for thus far.
There, Darowin with the forehand as Brad came on a shot that may have been a little shorter than he wanted.
A little shorter, and I don't think he really placed it where he wanted to because Tom didn't move. He really hit it right back at him. I think he should have gone down the line.
40-30.
Game Highland Park. 1-all.
Brad Kramer of Highland Park gets his first game here, the second one of the second set.
Well, that's just kind of a sigh, you know. At least okay, I got the first one. Now let's start working on something I can do to break serve.
Crowd has shunned some of the blankets that people brought earlier as the sun is fighting its way through.
Well, there's a lot of sweats and a lot of jackets.
Oh yes. And the first 2 days of this tournament, temperatures in the 70s, bright sunshine. About a 15-degree, 20-degree difference.
Love 15.
And Darowin with his second double fault.
That was almost a case where he was trying to baby it too much. You know, the first double fault he was hitting out on it. This one, it was almost like he was almost a nervous serve.
You hear the wind. That was not nervous.
15 all.
First outright ace.
No, and he was Brad was really playing his backhand. I think he was anticipating a serve wide to his backhand. Wasn't really ready for the ball down the middle.
Lefties really love to do that to you, don't you? Just knock you right into the fence in the ad court there, you know. We're at 15 all. Wow, back to back, ace number 2.
Not much to say about that one. That one speaks for itself.
Clean ace.
Tom's mixing it up real well. He's last 2 flat serves. He's hit some spin serves. He's hit forehands, backhands. Right now he's got Brad really thinking, what's going to happen? Where's he going to hit this ball?
30-15.
Let. First serve.
Let on the first service.
Very uncharacteristic. I don't think he made too many of those in his quarterfinal and semifinal match. But again, it's a tribute a little bit to the person on the other side of net, because Tom's putting a lot of pressure on him.
Game point here for him. Service winner.
Only leads 2 games to 1.
So Derwin leads 2 games to 1. We're on serve here in the second set. We'll take a break and come back to Hersey.
Time.
Well, we're in Arlington Heights. You see, we're at Hersey High School, and Brad Kramer serving 1-2. He is down a set.
Love 15.
There's Tom Derwin, semifinalist last year, lost to the eventual champion. Got to the round of 16 the year before as a freshman. And Brad Kramer had the answer for that.
Can't tell if he broke a string or he looked like he was just trying a tactic of chipping the ball short and coming in. But he may have broken a string.
Well, now both players are on their second racket.
They probably get him free anyway, so.
I don't think so, not anymore.
That's 2 balls this game that Brad has probably really has no excuse for missing.
15-30. Well, Kramer hit 2 lines to start that point. He hit the service box, then he hit the end line, and eventually came through. And we're at 30 all.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's just got to do more of it.
Notice the depth of Brad's shots is a little better this time. Tom's hasn't had an opportunity to take a short ball. That's what Brad's going to need to keep doing.
Closer you get to that end line, the more you pin your opponent back. Kramer's the Jim Cott of servers, boy. He just gets right there and wails away. Doesn't take much time between points. And Kramer holds serve, so we are tied at 2 here in the second set. It seemed to me, Mike, that was the kind of game that Brad Kramer would prefer.
Oh, much. And as we said before, if you look at where his shots are landing now, his shots are landing deeper, and he's not really giving Tom a chance to get in and to attack, because the points that he was losing before, Tom was really putting the pressure on him. Now, it's almost settled into a more relaxed match, which is what he'd like.
Question now is, will Darwin keep up that service pressure? This is the first time the two of them are meeting, which would also indicate that it would take a while to feel each other out.
Well, they, as Tom said, sometimes I think it's overrated. You know, you think about, well, gee, what should I do against this opponent or that opponent? You can only do the things that you're good at doing. And that's really where I think people go wrong. They think, boy, I should do this, I should do this. Well, you're not capable of doing that.
30.
You know, for Brad to say, gee, you know, Tom doesn't return serve good, so I'm going to serve and volley. Well, that's really not Brad's game. That's not something he should be doing. So even though they've never played each other, they still know how they play, and that's the thing they've got to do best. They've got to do what they do.
Absolutely. 30 love right here.
Just notice he's got a Notre Dame hat on.
Kramer's best point of the match right there.
Very well played.
15.
Kept Tom deep and then had an opportunity for himself. Came across here and really had the whole court to go into.
But as you said, the key to his game is patience. Kept the ball back and patience.
Well, notice the points are getting longer.
Which is to Brad's advantage.
Exactly. Except for that one.
That's Darwin's keynote right there. Brad's mother is here. His father says he doesn't come to matches because he doesn't want to make his son nervous. He was here for the first time, he said, all year for the semifinals. Then he left.
He should have stayed. He obviously brought him good luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's harder on people watching. You know, when I coach during the season, it's frustrating to me because I'd rather be playing. And you can only do so much for the kids. The kids are the ones that have to be out there hitting the ball.
40-15. Snuck up on him, did Brad Kramer. 40-30.
Good tactic. I mean, it's not something you want to use a lot, but something you want to keep there. You want to take that. You know, you got a short ball on the second serve, and there's a case where you've got a weaker second serve. You don't have quite as much pressure on you. You can put a little bit more pressure on the server.
We're at 40-30. And Tom Darrow of Moline finishes off that game to lead 3-2. We are still on serve. 3-2 right now. Darrow leads Kramer. Darrow up a set, and we'll return. On serve in the second set, Brad Kramer down 2-3. Serving in the near court. Tom Derwin in the far court, up by a set.
Now 15.
You know, we saw Kramer pull that tactic. You know, Tom did the same thing. He's got a short ball, go in, follow it into the net.
Brad Ray way wide with that one. It's love 15.
Well, Tom did a smart thing. You know, you've really got three alternatives. Most people think when you approach, you can approach down the line across court, but the third alternative is to approach right down the middle. And what you're doing is you're cutting off the angle. It's like a hockey goalie coming out. You're trying to cut off the angle that the player can hit it at. You're trying to cut off the open court. Worked that time.
Love 15.
Almost hit that one a little bit too hard. Was trying to do too much with it. Really came over the top of it. Never got any higher than about a foot and a half above the net, or a foot and a half above the ground.
Wind is gusting here. Easily 20 to 25 miles an hour. You can hear it.
Almost seems like it's picked up a little bit more.
Yes.
Temperature's picked up and the wind's picked up.
Darrow again, a strong cross-court forehand.
I think that one hit the line and was very close to it. You know, as a player, you're not aiming for the line itself. You're aiming for a space about 2 feet on obviously on the inside of the line. But a lot of people make the mistake of aiming for the line. And if you're aiming for the line, that means if it one way or the other, it's going to be bad. Whereas if you're aiming inside the line, then you've got a better space. Better margin of error. That's pretty shot. Not a good approach shot. You know, he got a short ball, but this time he didn't hit his good approach shot. And Brad actually had the advantage because he had a chance to do more with the ball.
Brad did not get shaken by that net court. 30 all. And the second double fault for Brad Kramer sets him up with a break point against.
I think that seemed like a case where he talked himself out of that one. Just looked like he said, well, I don't know if I can do this, and it didn't work out.
It was wide. Well played point.
I'm surprised. I thought Brad would have really done a little bit more with that overhead. He angled it well, but Tom was able to go and get it.
Brings it to deuce. First time in a long time that Tom Derwin did not show patience on a point.
Yeah, he got a short ball, but it's almost like he was anticipating it bouncing higher than it did, and so he came over the top of it again a little bit too much. But it's that patience that's going to make the difference.
Game point here for Kramer.
Now see, there was a difference. The last point he was trying to hit a winner. This point he was trying to set up the ball and let it set up so he could win the point on the next shot. So maybe he learned his lessons from the previous one.
Back to deuce.
Advantage Highland Park.
If there's one problem that a person with a two-handed backhand has, it's getting down to low balls. And so Brad had a good idea to really slice the ball, and the difference, a topspin ball will kick up, whereas a slice ball will stay down. Tom had a little trouble getting down to it.
Kramer got it. Not that one.
Deuce.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for Brad, but that's about the fifth overhead that Tom's hit, and every one of them has been to Brad's forehand. I think I'd make him hit the other way. I'd almost just stay there.
Fourth deuce. Just caught the line, as did that.
Advantage Marine.
Boy, two close calls, very close calls, and
Wow.
Kramer's appealing, but is not going to get anywhere.
I almost
You may have
agree
a
with
point.
him. I almost
And
agree
we
with
can
him.
take a quick look at it, but his shot hit the end of the baseline. Break point here.
Out.
Ball was long.
Deuce.
We're at deuce number 5.
Advantage Highland Park.
About the quickest point in a while.
Right. Head in.
Game Highland Park.
And Kramer holds serve. Now this is turning into a much more even situation.
Well, that was a good confidence builder for Brad. He had a couple of break points that he fought off and was able to come back and bring himself even.
We move to further action later in the second set. Brad Kramer serving 4-3 second set. And Brad Kramer was out there a good 30 seconds earlier than Tom Derwin on the changeover. He can't wait to go.
15.
Little impatient that time. I mean, a good idea, but he didn't hit a real good approach shot.
And Derwin is asking Kramer to hold up.
Love.
Brad getting up to the net that time. It's 30 love.
Yeah, you can see him. His feet are a little livelier. He's kind of feels he's in this match now.
That's a little cut volley right there.
He's got Tom talking to himself. You've got to do different things. That time he's been hitting the volleys deep. He thought he'd give him a short ball to think about.
What a psychological game this is, isn't it, huh? Oh my, 40 love.
I keep thinking I should quit coaching and go into sports psychology.
That's why they make a lot of money.
But it's fun.
40 love here. And Derwin completely bamboozled right now.
Correction. Game
And that is a
Park.
love game for Brad Kramer.
Highland Park leads 5-3.
Gives him a 5-3 lead.
That was an important game for Tom to come out and really assert himself again, and he did not.
Derwin having to hold here.
Love 15.
No question, the brain is working overtime. Tom Derwin right now.
Yeah, he's thinking.
He's got to regroup, otherwise he's going to find himself in a third set more quickly than even he anticipated.
Yeah, you don't want to finish the set. Even if he loses the set, you don't want to lose the set on a break.
Kramer again going into the alley on the second serve.
That was a little more patience.
And Kramer had won 7 straight points before that one, and Brad also hit a very short ball that he wanted back. He got it back, not the way he wanted.
He got it. But again, Tom was a little. He waited for the short ball instead of trying to do something more with a ball that was a little tougher to handle.
Good serve by Derwin, right in that deuce corner. (30-15). fault, called wide. A couple of fans thought differently, but Derwin seemed to agree. Got it.
That's in too.
Hello. What a point. Brad Kramer. What can you say about that one? That's a highlight.
That if any point typifies his style, that's it.
Derwin just wound up and tried to send that ball clear into Prospect Heights. Well, no, the other way, right?
Well, whatever he did, he didn't do it well enough.
Kramer had the answer. Boy, did he. And we're at 30 all.
In a big match, those are the types of things that turn things around. Other players might have just given up on that. Ooh, that was a tough call.
Call was out. Call was good.
Call was good.
Kramer didn't protest, but a few other folks turned their heads. No doubt about that
one. Well, that point didn't hurt him.
Strong finish for Derwin on that game. So now Brad Kramer will see what Brad Kramer's got. Trying to serve out the set.
Yeah, he's not going to. He shouldn't try to do anything special. He's been the last service game. He was hitting the ball a lot better. He was hitting the ball like somebody had a little bit of confidence, had a little bit of life in him. He's got to come out the same way here. Get some first serves in, but be patient. And don't do anything different than what you've done before. It's when you know, a lot of times when you try to do that you get yourself into trouble. On the other side of the coin, Tom's obviously got to keep himself patient and go point by point, not try to win the points too early, but let it come to him and let things develop as they may.
Only one break in this set. Kramer's got it. That in the 7th game. And he leads 5-4 after dropping the first set at love. As we told you, he is there ready to serve, and Derwin, I'm sure now, using that time as much as he can to upset Brad's pace a little bit.
15, love.
Derwin wanted an out call, but didn't get it. Derwin did a good job of pulling his head back together after that break, but Kramer seems to have grown in confidence tremendously.
Oh, very definitely. You can just see it in the way he's serving.
He doesn't waste any time, does he?
Second serve, take it in, attack.
30-15.
40-15.
2 set points now coming up for Brad Kramer. 40-15. No doubt about it.
40-30.
Just kept pinning him back in that corner until he got a ball that he could really do something with.
Still another set point now at 40-30.
Game and
There it is. Second set to Brad Kramer in a typical Brad Kramer fashion. Long rallies, no mistakes. Let your opponent make the error.
Yeah, that was typical.
We're going to go 3. We're going to take a break right now and be back with the third and deciding set in the boys singles championships. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Mike Liederman along with Michael Hand, and we are entering set 3 of the Illinois High School Association Boys State Singles Championships at Hersey High School. A can of new balls just sent across the court, so you know this has got to be an important match. And Brad Kramer, after being turned every which way but loose in the first set by Tom Derwin to the tune of 6-love, has come back to take the second set 6-4. Derwin in the far court, Kramer in the near court. Derwin to serve. Derwin, the junior from Moline. Kramer, also a junior from Highland Park. Now in the high school format, there's a 10-minute break between sets, Michael. Derwin's got to come out here and serve with no warm-up. Any big deal?
No, not at all. They're so used to it.
Ball was long. Derwin disagreeing, but it's love 15.
You know, this first game is so important. Tom's got to get out, got to hold his serve. The new balls will help him a little bit. They'll be a little livelier, so it'll make his serve seem like it's a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. Brad's got to just kind of hang in there, which he did very well in that second set.
Love 15. Kramer coming with an answer to the overhead, and Derwin didn't have the answer back. It's love 30. I can't help but thinking, Michael, and I may be premature here, that watching this first game, Derwin is playing a lot more into Kramer's hands. First set, points were short, games were short. The rallies in the second set started to be extended, and the first couple of points here have really seemed to go Kramer's tempo.
Well, I'm not sure that Tom's necessarily playing into his hands that way. That's the way the points are turning out. He's trying to.
It was on.
just long. And again, Kramer questioning a call, but the linesman, and as you mentioned, Michael, the players are not used to having lines people. They always call their own lines, except for the state tournament.
Well, he was, you know, Tom had made the call,
right?
But the linesman was unsighted, so.
But Tom's making the call won't cut it in the final. It's got to come from either the chair umpire or the lines person.
Second serve.
That was a nervous second serve.
It's 30-all. Kramer with the error. Had the good idea, but couldn't put it across.
Yeah, you talk about Tom, whether Tom's playing into Brad's hands, and not intentionally, but Brad's just picked up his game a little bit and has put more pressure on Tom. So it seems like Tom's making more forced and unforced errors.
Tom Derwin's game right there. Strong serve, and Kramer could do nothing more than pop it back, and sharp overhead angled well by Tom Derwin. So he's come back to win 3 straight points and have a game point here.
That's a great serve.
Sun is out now. It's been a long time waiting, but it is out. And an ace to finish off the game.
First game, final set.
That was so important to Tom, having lost that second set, having lost, being broken in that 7th game. It was so important for him to come out here real strong and win the first game on his serve.
3rd ace for Tom Derwin in this match. And he takes the first game of the 2nd set. There he is. We told you his father is his coach. And he's got to be pleased when he sees this kind of a serve from his son.
Oh, certainly.
1, 2, 3, and look out. Right down the middle.
Yeah, you can see where Brad's playing. Brad's playing, protecting that forehand, protecting that backhand, protecting against that slice, and Tom took a little advantage of it.
Brad Kramer's first service game here in the 3rd set.
Just as important as Tom's first serve is Brad's, and he's got to get off at a good start. Of course, in the 3rd set, they're all important, really.
Well played by Derwin.
Now see here, in this case, he went at his backhand. He went at Kramer's backhand with that approach shot, which he had been doing very little of. He had been more or less going at his forehand.
Second serve coming at love 15. Now Derwin is cheating over well into the center of the court.
Tom was smart. He saw that. I don't know if he saw that ball sitting on the court or not, but he went right at it. And that's a distraction to Brad. He should get that ball off the court before he hits that second serve. And he gets stand on it. And if Tom's ball hits that ball, there's nothing he can do about it.
It's Tom's point.
Yep.
Love 30.
Oh, come on!
Brad Kramer not happy with himself after that wild forehand.
Well, all the patience he has didn't show up on that point. Now he's going to get rid of the ball.
And a break and love for Tom Darrowan.
Good attack. Took the second ball and came right in on it, trying to put the pressure on Brad.
And that was the Tom Darrowan of the first set who played that.
Oh, that yeah,
right there.
Oh, definitely. Those first two games, it's really, really, back and forth, and right now Tom's got the upper hand. Brad's feeling a little frustrated right now, and he's got to get himself back on track. Just get a couple of long points. Get his confidence back. Hit a few balls, and not try to. A lot of the players really their downfall is they're trying to get the point over too early. They're trying to win the point too quickly. When the point doesn't dictate that. You've got to set yourself up and take the opportunities when they come, and don't force the opportunities because you end up making the mistakes.
Come on, baby. Yeah.
30 love.
Tom's a little more vocal now.
Brad Kramer won the first 2 points of this set. Tom Darrowan has won the next 10 straight.
We talk about the momentum, thinking how Brad is going to come out in this third set, having won the second set, and it's just the opposite.
First 2 points gave every indication of that, but ever since then, Darrowan has been absolutely dominant.
First serve.
Ball was first called out, then corrected, so it'll be first serve again for Darrowan. Ball looked good from here.
Yeah. That's kind of unfortunate. It was a nice serve, but
and once again,
2 straight service winners.
Kramer down love 40 here, and he is taking his time, having a little conversation with himself.
Tom's doing more in terms of just changing up where he's hitting the ball. He's hitting the ball very flat, so it's not a hard serve to return. But you've got to know where the ball's going because it is going that fast.
Cheering you here in the background is also part of the consolation draw that is still being played out behind us, so it's not all what's going on here. And the double fault by Darrowan.
We saw that in the doubles match. Here's a case you're up 40 love. Why not go for the big serve? Well, in the doubles match it backfired because they lost the next 2 points also to get it back to deuce.
5th double fault for Tom Darrowan. Junior from Moline. Took the first set 6 love, lost the second 6-4. Leads 2-love here in the third and final.
He's really hitting out on that serve.
I'm sure he and his dad slash coach had a long talk during the break.
40-30.
And that was not part of the conversation. Second straight double fault.
You know, the first double fault was a matter of going for it on a second serve, trying to win the point off that. This one was a little more nervous double fault, but you know that first double fault, you know, set up the second one, because now you're at 40-30 instead of having, you know, gotten the serve in and win the point by playing it out. You can't win a point if you don't even get the ball in play.
Good forehand by Brad Kramer into the corner, and as you pointed out, Michael, from 40-love, went to deuce.
And that's, if Brad needed anything, that was it. It's just the confidence of being able to get back, being able to win points off of Tom's serve. Tom also, I think, in terms of his serving, he's, you know, those big serves look great, but unless you get them in, they don't do you a whole lot of good. And I think he might be better off taking a little bit of pace off the ball, spinning a little more, and getting those first serves in.
Well, we don't have the statistics, but his first serve percentage was much higher in the first set than in the second. Right on the line.
I think the outside half of the line, too.
Oh, yeah. We had a clear shot at that one. No doubt about it. Whatever much of the line it caught something.
I think is there a little paint mark there? Okay, here's a big serve. I think he'd be better off to spin this ball, hit it harder, but spin it a little bit more and get it in.
Well, went right for the downs.
Yeah. You know, and it's not bad if you've got a real good second serve. Tom's second serve, by his own admission, is okay.
Kramer again deep in the alley on the return.
Deuce.
And a deuce.
Very loosely played point by Tom.
Yeah, he's not, as you said, he's not the classic serve and volleyer. He'll hit the hard serve, but then he'll stay back. And the second serve certainly is not a weapon for him.
No.
For him to complete his game, he's really got to work on that and a little more variety in his serving.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just a matter of picking up that first serve percentage. It's interesting how it's you know, from here it's easy. You know, I remember playing a match in college that you know, I had a hard serve. And I remember I lost the match. And I remember afterwards talking to the guy and says, you know, you had a real hard serve, but you know, I just stick my racket in front of it. It was so easy to get it back. And really, that's what's happening. You notice when Brad gets a racket on the ball comes back, and there's no pressure on him.
Wonderful point. And Derwin holds. And he goes up 3-love. Let's take a look at that point again.
That backhand was almost as if he was just pushing at the ball. And he hit the ball wide. That was
actually,
I don't even know
the
how
best
to
action was before we picked it up right there. And this is the way Tom Derwin started the first set. He's up a break.
Yeah, that 3-0 isn't, you know, you got to look at that from Brad's point of view. That 3-0 isn't that bad. He's only down 1 break. You come out here, you hold your serve, and somewhere along the line you look for that break.
Well, while we have a minute, we'd like to thank some of the folks at the IHSA, the Illinois High School Association, who made this state championship event possible here on Sports Channel. Executive Director Dave Fry, Associate Executive Director Don Robinson, the Assistant Executive Director Charlene Bremberg, who's out here on site, Ola Bundy, James Flynn, and Martin Hickman. And to Charlene, of course, we want to wish a special thanks and good wishes for a happy retirement after all these years. She is leaving the IHSA, and we wish her the very, very best to Charlene.
She's done a great job. She's the person at the IHSA office in charge of tennis, both boys and girls, and has just done a super job.
Here is Brad Kramer now, getting set to serve love 3 while we get something off the court.
Maybe it was a penny.
Well, Tom only hopes it's lucky for him.
I don't know, do you believe in the heads and tails? Strong point, very strong point to come out. How many times have we said? How many times have we said every time a short ball, short second serve comes in and attacks?
Knocks off the volley right there. Love 15. Back to live action. Well, that time Tom had the opportunity and got careless.
Yeah, I got careless, but Brad hit a halfway decent shot right at him.
Sure.
So Tom had to make a decision whether to go forehand or backhand, and it's a much easier shot using your backhand, but he just didn't get himself around and moved away to get the shot.
15 all.
30-15.
Service winner.
Yeah. Not the fastest you'll ever see, but they all count.
Looks the same on a scorecard.
Absolutely. Oh, what a nice play by Derwin. Good approach and the volley.
Of course, I don't know if Tom heard me when I said every overhead he'd hit to his forehand. Now every overhead he's gone to the other side.
30 all.
That's what you have to do. You know, he just hit the previous one to the backhand, hit it to the forehand, because now Brad doesn't know which way you're going to go. You've got to be unpredictable.
Vital point in the match here for Brad Kramer, risking going down 2 breaks. Again, Derwin with the right idea, and Kramer hit a good shot at him, and Tom just didn't quite get the volley down.
Yeah, You know, the difference is if the ball's above the net, he can do a lot more with that. Brad just took a little bit of pace off it, made it drop, and Tom had to pick it up. That's the patience he needs. Brad just kept getting him back, kept getting him back. Tom didn't try to force the issue, waited for the opportunities.
He was hitting some pretty savage ground strokes, though.
But they weren't ground strokes that he was necessarily trying to win the point off. He was trying to pin him back, trying to keep him deep. You know, the ones he's made the errors on are the ones that he's trying to put the ball away.
Another break point here.
Deuce.
I think he had delusions of grandeur. Brad just really fluffed the serve in.
Advantage Highland Park.
Darwin may have a good beef right here. He's saying that ball was several inches out. It was called good, and it will stay good. Let's see what we can tell from here. Now tough to tell from that angle. But
Caught the line, it didn't catch a whole lot of it.
Kramer now with the advantage.
Game Highland Park.
Loose point played there to close the game out, and Brad Kramer is now on the scoreboard here in the third set.
Well, Tom can't let that bother him. You know, he's still up a break. You know, Brad got a game. That's you know, nothing wrong with that. He's got to keep his focus and keep his concentration here, or else he'll just give that break right back.
That's the situation. They split the first two sets, and now Derwin up a break here, leading 3-1 in the third. The junior from Moline against the junior from Highland Park.
Love 15.
Second ball, Brad decided to come in on that one.
Well,
Tom needs to, you know, we've said it before. I hate to keep belaboring the point, but he's got to start getting those first serves in. And there's nothing that'll help pick up your game more than just, you know, getting the first serves in, putting a little pressure on them, and getting some balls that you can do something with. I think Brad would like to have that one back. He kind of That was an unforced error. Almost like he was trying to catch the line.
We're at 15 all. And that ball long, and again a question of the call from Derwin.
15-30.
15-30. Derwin's only lost one match all season, and that was to Brad Hawthorne of Bloomington. And it was Hawthorne whom Brad Kramer beat in the quarterfinals.
But I don't think anybody really cares right about now.
Nope.
I think they're. This is the one that counts.
Yep.
Good comeback after that last point where he was a little questioning the call a little bit. Keep your concentration and keep your focus. Both players are talking to themselves.
If you were with us earlier, the doubles title went to Roger Jers and Johnny Lynn of Normal Community. Straight sets winner over defending champs Dennis Alexander and Brian Edwards. Singles title in the balance right here. Talking about wanting to have one back.
Well, you know, we're all entitled to making errors like that, but right now they're big.
With the state championship on the line, Brad Kramer has just dug himself a little deeper hole. Another service winner, and it's 4-1.
Good place for that.
Leads 4-1. Final set.
Tom Derwin now just needs to hold on here and run the set out. Brad Kramer's got to come back, hold serve, and then work for a break.
Yeah, you've got to. You can't just try to run a set out. You can't just try to make it exist and just hope you can win the point. You've got to. You can't change anything. You can't play a game to keep from losing it. You've got to play the game to win it. And if you do that, you know, you find yourself getting broken and letting Brad back in the match.
It's very much a 1 point at a time game. Also want to thank our hosts here at Hersey High School, Don Kurzmeyer, the principal, Guy Venna, Director of Student Activities, Ken Carter, Athletic Director, and of course our Tournament Director and a big help, Jim Gelhar. Thank you all very much. Here's Kramer to serve, 1-4.
Level 15.
Wonder if Tom's superstitious. Because every time he points over, it's like he adjusts his feet to make sure he doesn't step on the line or something.
Maybe you got that from basketball.
Yeah, yeah, you can't step on the line.
Point guard on the basketball team, you can't step on the lines there. Excellent drop volley.
That was pretty.
Whoa.
30.
He had Kramer up in Buffalo Grove there,
yeah,
and he just chipped it right over the net.
He disguised that very well. And he came up, and normally he's been really hitting these deep. He set up and had Brad totally fooled.
Back to action now. Kramer in a big hole here at 1-4, love 30, third set. And that's the hardest serve that Kramer's hit all day, trying to change things up a bit. Triple break point. You heard Derwin say,
That was a little risky, actually. He hit an approach shot right down the middle, but didn't hit it real deep. And Brad really had his choice of where he wanted to go with it. Unfortunately, he hit it a little deep. Tom looks like he's walking a little gingerly. Maybe that's what it is. His back is bothering him.
triple break point right here against Brad Kramer. Well, a couple of net cords.
You heard Tom say, "Don't give up," and those are the kind of points that turn matches around. Those are the kind of points that dishearten opponents too. That you know, they get the net cord and thought you had a winner, and it really gets you back into the point. But he had kind of figured Brad was going to put that ball away.
Break point number 2 here.
That was a little impatient. I think he went up a little bit quicker than he really would have liked to have, or I guess than what I thought he should have.
Still a break point here, number 3. And once again, Derwin taking some time. Excellent play by Derwin. He showed patience, took the mixture of moon balls and ground strokes, and made the big play when he had to.
Well, Brad did a nice job. He got the short ball from Tom. Unfortunately, Tom's passing shot was just a little better. Hit it down at his feet. Brad wasn't able to get it in the court, get it down. But that's a big hole. That's 2 breaks down. That's tough. Not can be done, and he's got to think positive now. He's got to think that just got to come right back out and break here. So if you think you're lost, you're lost.
Serving for the game, the set, and the championship right here is Tom Derwin at 5-1.
Amazing how much better a serve gets with a little bit of confidence. Brad took matters in his own hands that time. Again, a short ball, second serve.
15 all. Tom Derwin seeded second, semifinalist last year. Brad Kramer seeded seventh. This year's two finalists. The sun is shining. The wind, while still with us, is nowhere near as bad as it was. Tough shot by Derwin.
You know, again, Brad hit a halfway decent approach shot, but Tom just ripped the ball. Just kind of rolled it across court. The ball fell. The ball came down at his feet. And, Brad had to pop it up. Brad moving way over into the alley, even outside the alley.
40-15, double match point.
Brad was, I think, so concerned about that serve to his backhand, he really didn't even concentrate on hitting the ball. It still went to his backhand, and he just hit a little weak shot into the net.
There's your champion, Tom Derwin of Moline. Quite a match with Brad Kramer of Highland Park. And a lot of happy supporters have reason to cheer.
You know, we talked at the top about how it was going to be a contrast in styles, and it really the score indicates that. Tom taking over in the first set, Brad kind of dictating things in the second set, and then Tom coming back and playing his game in the third set.
All right, we will be back in just a minute, talk to the winner, and wrap things up right here at Hersey High School. Back at Hersey High School, we have our winner, Tom Derwin, and his coach, also father, also named Tom Derwin. Tom, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we thought it was going to be an early day, at least after that first set. What happened in the second set?
I think I got a little lackadaisical on a couple big points. He played a lot better in the second set. He came out, I think he was a little nervous. He didn't start off very well, but then, you know, he really put his game together and came back in the second set and played well.
Well, Dad, what happened in between the second and third set? What kind of conversation did coach/father have with his son?
I like that, coach first there. That's all right. We just talked about some things that we've been talking all the way through the match that we thought we needed to do. We wanted to attack his second serve, and I thought we did that real well early. And we also came in a little bit more, and I thought that was a big help to us. So this is the guy that did it, not me. He's the one that did the job.
You've got 6 kids. You've had 3 already in the state tournament. This is your first winner.
Yeah. Well, they're all winners. You know, I couldn't be prouder of all of them. And this guy's special. He did something special for all of us.
Congratulations, Mike. Do you want to ask a couple questions?
Well, you know, we talked at the top. You played your game in the first set. Brad played his game in the second set. What did you do to bring it back to your game in the third set?
I attacked a lot more in the third set, just as I did in the first set. I made him hit the shots by coming in. You know, I volleyed really well today, and just by coming in, I did better.
Well, it was exciting to watch. It's also interesting to know that both you and Brad will be back next year, I'm sure, as seniors. So congratulations to you, to Coach/Dad, or Dad/Coach, and to the whole family, and of course the whole group from Moline. Congratulations to you both. Okay. Take care. Tom Darrowan, the boys state singles champion. Michael, you pointed it out. We saw maybe 3 different matches and maybe had 3 different seasons today, all in the same location.
Yeah. I kind of like this one, though. The sun's shining. It's a good way to end the high school tennis season. On a positive note, a great match, a great champion. Actually, both players. Very good, very well-played match.
3-setter for the singles title. Tom Darrowan, the winner, the junior from Moline. Of course, in the doubles, that seemed to have started many days ago, but it was just a couple of hours ago. Roger Jewers and Johnny Lynn of Normal defeated the defending champions, Dennis Alexander and Brian Edmonds from Bloomington, and that took place in straight sets. Bloomington High School, also the team champion for 1992. Michael, good working with you again, and may we always have good weather, and we hope you enjoyed this one here at Hersey High School. The event on Sports Channel will be the 1992 Boys Track and Field Championship, Thursday, June 4th, starting at 7 p.m. This event has been produced and directed by Dave Turner. Executive producer Greg Bowman. Remote facilities provided by WVTV. For Mike Hand, I'm Mike Lederman saying so long for now. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel. So long, everybody.